So the next one's from Durbin, and Mike Durbin from the Get My Go show. That's a friend of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Subject is 50 greatest women's superstars. Hi, Disco. Joe, do you have this list, by the way? So get it ready.
Yep.
Put it up on the screen. Hi, Disco and Conan. I've attached WWE's 50 greatest women's superstars list they recently put out there. Man, Glenn, when you were on the Mike Durbin show last year, you picked your Mount Rushmore of women's wrestlers. Sherry Martel, Charlotte Flair, Alundra Blaze, and Gail Kim. But I'm curious, what do you think of this list? P.S. Do you think Natty will have a Brother Martin-level nervous breakdown when she sees that she's number 20?
Orton and Adonis are fruits on all levels.
That ain't right.
I can't believe they didn't edit that out.
The Pyro guy set Undertaker on fire one time, which, that's not what you want to do. But WCW, the only thing
I wish somebody would set the Get My Go show on fire and all its members.
Hit the button at the wrong time.
There's people on Twitter that have like entire catalogs of John's material, other than Dean, because they're like, we authorized Dean to do that.
All these millions of podcasts that are out there, and there's actually like a million wrestling podcasts. If you need a guest, me and Disco are not available, but this guy, Mike Durbin, hugely, and anybody from the Four Sportsmen or any of the guys on Creative Control Network, except for maybe Shane Helms, are all available to talk about themselves all day, all night. So please get a hold of them, not me anymore.
There's no such thing as bad press. But
right.
Oh my God.
Somebody get the fucking fire extinguisher, please.
These bastards.
Get My Go available, both video and audio versions. The most recent episode was all about a death hoax. A lot of controversial things going on that show. The subject,
the most controversial.
Let me tell you about it. The controversy is always with the people on the show.
No,
that's always the controversy.
The subject,
each other.
The subject of that week's show attempted to fake his death.
Joe, please.
Yes.
Don't be honest.
Yo,
who's the biggest drama queen that you deal with in the Creative Control Network?
No, nobody now.
Mike Durbin?
No, I haven't had any problems with Mike.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Durbin's kind of a drama.
Mike's
queen.
good.
All right.
All right, welcome to Wrestling with Reality. It is that time of the week for our WWF Superstars Watch Along. I am Johnny Superstars here tonight. Joining me, as always, is my partner in crime. He's going by the Stuttering Heat, Brother Martin, tonight, but I'd like to call him Babyface there. Look at him. He's freshly shaved there. He's got... You look like a 12-year-old boy in your face there without any facial hair, man. I'm growing mine long, and you're shaving it all off.
Well, which I might actually grow it back out. I mean, but like my wife, she threatens certain things, and I can't go without certain things. So I made a deal with her. Did
you make a deal with the devil?
Well, no, because like the devil went down to Georgia, and his name is Nick Patrick. So I'm just saying.
We'll get back to Nick Patrick on the Nitro show. Yes. We'll get back to that on the Nitro show because there's a lot to be said about that coming up on the next Nitro this week. That's all I'm going to say. So for all the people that are coming back and always watching the Nitro show, that quickly became, along with Superstars, our most popular shows, hands down. One of them, the one we did last week, almost at 900 views already. Like 850 views or something. It was at it last I looked. Ooh, we're here, folks. What is going on? It is Monday. And we all know what that means. It means it's Monday Nitro here on Wrestling with Reality. Welcome to the show. We're glad to be here. I am Johnny Nitro. Joining me, as always, is my partner in crime, my wonderful friend, Mr. Brother Martin. What is going on, Mr. Martin? How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing great, my brother. I got some great news, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Because I'm alive and well, baby. I'm not dead. I have been risen. I have been loved. I've been loved. Whatever you want to say it, I got it. I got you. And just want to let everybody know out there that we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to be doing some WCW Nitro. We're going to do some classic wrestling, baby. And you know what? You need to do? You need to get your whoop chicken. You need to get your
Hey now, I gotta cut you off here, man. Hey, crackhead Joe over here. I gotta cut you off, man.
I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry, baby.
Stop.
I'm sorry, baby.
No drugs for you. All right,
okay, I'm sorry, but I can't help myself. I can't help myself because I'm such a big chunky monkey that I just can't help myself because the fact that I get drug tested every 30 days, that's nothing to do with the fact that I am not sober. Even though I am sober, but it's okay, babies. I'm here. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your concern. We're going to have some fun. We're going to let the midnight oil burn.
So anyway, that's available on YouTube and all your podcast providers. Diamond Conversation.
Wait, Spotify?
It's on Spotify.
Get My Go's on Spotify?
It's everywhere. It's worldwide. Spotify.
That's a disgrace that Get My Go is on the same network that Joe Rogan is
Apple
on.
Podcast. Don't forget about Amazon. It's everywhere. Diamond.
Joe Rogan's going to have Get My Go's Mike Durbin on this
We're going to send him some shirts. It's going to be great.
What the hell is wrong? Somebody help Brian Brieger. Look at him. He's got black ink all over him.
It looks like black jizz. I mean, come on. Stop it, everybody.
He's a closeted homosexual. It's a miracle.
All right, welcome back to Get My Go, and welcome back, Husey, with slick back hair.
Yes, sadly, because of the extension of the lockdown to April, I haven't been able to get a haircut since November. So I've had to start slicking back my hair, or as Joe would call it, turning the cap around.
Yes, exactly.
See that? Instant jokes.
Yes.
That you'll only get here on the It's Husey Hello show. Oh no, so this is Get My Go. Whatever.
Hair. Who needs it?
So, word on the street today is that Preston Sharp sent in an email to Keeping It 100 with a bunch of Get My Go references. And Joe, do not spoil the references, you real.
I always just freeze up. They're like, what's that mean? It's just a Get My Go thing.
And if anybody hears any background noise, I'm making thumbnails for Keeping It 100 official YouTube. It's the only place to see the official content from the infamous podcast hosted by Disco Inferno, Conan, and Kevin Gill.
No, that's a long time ago. There's a new co-host now.
People have been asking to have Kevin Gill featured on Get My Go.
Oh yeah, to like slant. Yeah, but
so
I have no problem switching to him. It's pretty bad. So
yeah,
maybe it's something we can look into.
If any of you want to see that, let us know and we will do it.
Send us a clip or whatever.
Yeah, we are dying to branch out and go feature other targets because these guys are killing us, man. I mean, John and Brother Martin, their shit is just going downhill further and further each day, each week. So
the water's running dry.
Yeah. All right, let's get right into this. This is going to be a long one, and it's not an easy one. I've clipped this one in advance. I'm not ever going to do the thing where I don't clip it again because that recording we did last week was brutal, where we watched the entire show with Chad and Dean and Rob. No more. We will not do that again. So this is Brother Martin doing a late night inspired on Facebook Live. It was from February 2nd.
Right. See, here's the problem with him doing these live streams is that he genuinely finds himself to be so fascinating that this is what he's going, that he thinks my public need to hear what I have to think. By the way, have you ever noticed like he talks like someone being raped on the first night in prison?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have noticed that.
or a strong post St. Patrick's Day shite. I have grown to over the past couple of weeks of Get My Go. I've moved on from hating Wangland to now just thinking he's an idiot, where I now genuinely dislike Chris Martin. He's a scumbag fucking loser. He's so fucking obnoxious. The fact that he has to put a filter on photographs of his own wife, yet expects us to think she's good looking, is fucking on a level of stupidity that I can't even believe exists. So I can't wait to go really hard on this fucking girly-haired fat piece of shit with a shit job and his receding hairline. No offense, Joe.
No, it's not receding. It's receded.
Yeah.
Shouldn't, I mean, obviously she sees the pictures he posts. Like my wife said something like that too. Like, man, if you put a picture up with a filter on me,
Yeah.
I'd be so fucking insulted. Like, I don't know, man. I don't understand that shit. But you think she'd be a little like insulted herself for the way Martin frames the pictures, but I don't
And
know.
the thing is, they've had a lot of marital disputes, which I know because he's told me privately, over, the fact that he says he was a porn addict. I think he still is, of course. But that was a big problem in their marriage, and he was obsessed with porn and all this.
Who needs porn if you're married to such a fox?
I mean, yeah, that's what he said. I've heard that a lot from him.
Yeah, he said it on his shows too. So it's like here he is using a filter to make his wife look kind of like a porn star, because he's obviously not happy with the way she looks now.
My wife was like, I thought it was like a wrestler girl that he like you paid for a picture with. I'm like, no, that's not, it's supposed to be his wife, but it's not, So he's making her look like a porn star, making her look like a celebrity, a wrestler, whatever.
Yeah, she actually looks like a young Kelly Preston in the picture. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I'm like,
well, her husband.
Yeah, but in reality, she looks like a present Kelly Preston.
Yeah, and if we're going to talk about Kelly Preston, her current husband's a bigger than Kelly Preston's husband. So
yeah.
Yes. All right, we're going to get right into this. You guys see that beautiful image?
Oh man, he's swelling up like oh my god.
Do you ever get where you don't realize how cool and tough you are until you see this guy?
Yes.
And you think I could beat the fuck out of this guy. I'm 1990s Mike Tyson compared to this fucking guy. Look at him. Look at him. I dare you to look at him. That's why Mike Durban wears sunglasses, because he can't handle it.
There's some in the newest one they did. There's some things where Martin like puts his arms back and flexes. He's got like these
turkey arms.
He looks like he's got like turkey arms, and they look atrophied. Like he's got these stick arms, but he's still a fat fuck.
Is that a wrestler picture behind him?
Yeah, Mikey Whipwreck. It's autographed.
Yeah,
yeah,
on his wall.
Yeah, in the living room.
Come on, man.
There's like a beautiful piece of artwork. It looks like a chicken or some kind of Japanese artwork. And then you got Mikey Whipwreck next to it. So, all right, here we go. You want to do a countdown? Chris Martin. Actually, let's let Chris Martin do his own countdown.
Oh, no.
Go ahead, Chris.
5, 4, 3, 2, and motherfucking 1. Let's get going. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, whether you're driving a Pinto or driving a Mercedes, stop with what you're doing, stop with what you're saying, sit down and stop with what you're playing. And I hope and pray that everybody's seeing this, that you're having a safe, blessed, joyous, and wonderful night. And with that said, last night, me and my brother John, we...
Is that thing on his shoulder the ferret that he had that night for dinner? Hey, boy, where's my supper?
I mean, people, how, even Road Dogg changed his intro. Like, let's go already. I've heard of the Pinto. I've heard the Mercedes. I get it. Write something else down.
Yeah, he's got more hair hanging over his shoulder than he does on the top of his head.
No, the top it's gone. It's ruined. It's over.
Oh,
why is he wearing headphones? Who's he speaking to?
Taped a special edition of Inspired with Christopher, but you know what? Things were kind of chaotic and crazy, and I just want to say, the show that we did last night on Facebook Live will be coming out, but it will be coming out within a different form. So just to let you guys know, we called that Inspired last night, but it's going to be called something else. So because quite frankly, the content that I was speaking, and honestly, I was speaking off the cuff, and it really didn't go with the theme of my show. So I just want to say to everybody out there, thank you for your love, thank you for your patience, thank you for your kindness, and I just want to let everybody know that we're here to have a good show tonight. Like, we're here to have some fun. Like, we're here to interact. So if anybody has any questions, concerns, if you want to, let me know how you're doing. Let me know how you're doing, because you know what? Like, we're one giant family, and this.
Husey, you love when he says that line. We're one big family.
Yeah, he's the bastard son. Hey, if I check the family tree, this guy's the sap. But this is the thing that I find so brave about him, that he would leave himself open to questions from his listeners, because how's he going to see that feed with the tens of thousands of what did he call them? Pinto drivers?
Yeah, Pinto drivers.
Yeah, fucking mini driver. He thinks he's probably listening. So, what questions does he get? Like, we're going to be here all day as he answers all of these questions that he definitely got.
Place called the world, Earth, whatever you want to call it. We're all
shoes. We live in shoes. Whatever you want to call it. It's fucking called Earth.
Whatever you want to call it.
I'm from the planet Coasters. I mean, Earth. It's like, no, it's Earth, you dumb cunt. That's the name of it. Hey, Joe Feeney, or whatever you want to call yourself. It's like, yeah, it's Joe Feeney.
I'd like him to clear his throat, please, because it's really scratchy tonight, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's tough to listen to.
Yeah, I'd like him to.
We're all children of God, whether we acknowledge it or not. So I just want to let everybody know that I love you and that I pray that you're doing well. That said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Inspired with Christopher. These past few weeks, they've been kind of hectic. They've been kind of crazy. And I've had people say to me, hey, Chris, you know, we've really been wanting a new show. And I just want to say, guys, I'm the type of person to where I do not want to put a show out and do it half-ass.
I heard that Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld were hanging out together at Walmart, and somebody says, excuse me, get out of the way. Hey, Chris Martin, we need you to put out another show.
Oof. He doesn't want to do half-assed. I like that. Usually on his show, he's the whole ass. Huh?
Yeah, he's the Stanley Kubrick of podcasting, where he really wants to put the effort in to fucking Chinese democracy every release that comes out. That's fucking... Like, and look at the effort that he's gone into putting out this new show. He's live streaming it. What a lot of fucking rehearsal, prep.
The Stanley Kubrick lines. It seems to me that he could scream in his wife's face like Shelley Duvall, looking at you hear them bickering on the thing. You know, there's some screaming matches going on.
Yeah, instead of the shining, it's the thinning.
The thinning.
Pies Wide Shut. Full Metal Jackass. 2001 downloads.
Total in 5 years.
Farticus.
Because I don't want to force things. Plus, I don't want to have it to where, you know, you start listening to it and then 30 seconds to like 2 minutes in, you're like, screw this, I'm not interested in it. I normally pray before I do my shows, and I, try to get
on
it
children.
on par like with what God.
Yeah. What the fuck does it matter if people turn the podcast off after 30 seconds? I don't give a fuck if anybody listens to anything I do. Just download it and then delete it immediately. I don't give a fuck.
And like with the topics that he wants me to discuss. So with that said, guys, that's why it takes me a minute. And the God honest truth is between work.
Did he just say God was his producer, basically? He has a discussion with God and God picks the topics. That's fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
This should be a tremendous show. Why isn't anyone listening?
Yeah.
God is dictating the course. There's no way God's wasting his time talking to this guy. There's no way. I don't care if he has infinite time.
Yeah, he's like, oh, fuck.
And recording other shows and just quite frankly, just so many things in general. I've been having more difficulty with doing shows because honestly, whenever like you're talking about your life and like the good, bad, the indifferent, sometimes, you know, you gotta pray and you gotta step back and you gotta figure out, okay, how will this, you know, glorify God, but at the same time, how will this be good content to help inspire somebody? So I just want to say, guys.
And on the 8th day, God said, yes, my son, go forth and do a watch-along of Slamboree 1995.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I like when he's talking about recording the good, bad, and the indifferent. And in my mind, I'm going, yes, the very, very indifferent.
Yeah, well, we know what word he could have used, but then that person may have entered the room.
Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your understanding. And I'm very, very grateful for that. So with that said, like, we're going to begin.
This is the other thing I've got to say that always fascinates about me when he says stuff like that. Oh, thank you for your patience and understanding. Who?
Yeah.
Like, it genuinely, who, like, does he actually think that there is an audience, or does it? But now, what's happening has the podcasts stopped and they've gone straight to Facebook live streaming.
Yeah, this was one of the first times that they stopped doing audio. Now it seems now that they're just going to do Facebook Lives, and because they think that, Dean pointed this out to me last night. They think that if it says 127 views, they think that 127 people sat there and watched the whole thing. No, that means that out of your 500 Facebook friends, 127 of them happened to scroll through and they saw it for a second or more, and then they kept going. That counts. That doesn't mean people watched it. That doesn't mean anybody liked it, because it's not possible for them to like it because it's terrible.
Yeah, and I've got a question. This is probably just me being ridiculous, thinking of the clouds. If you check the Fig Life YouTube page, there's over 1,000 subscribers there.
Yeah.
And YouTube, when it gets to a certain level, you can financially benefit from it. Why would Wangland build up that audience on YouTube to then never use it and start again on Facebook where you cannot monetize it? And plus, I'm so glad they've gone to video, because it actually makes it more bearable, and it's helping me with my confidence level. And I don't feel embarrassed about having this grease-backed hair right now. Sorry, Joe, I meant heavy hat.
Stop that. With the ball jokes. No, what do you call it? When Martin talks about his listeners having patience and whatever, and all I can think about is the people that may have actually listened or given him a shot, and I think we know some of them, and they're Get My Go listeners now because Martin turned into such an asshole and stuck with John and shit on the Brandon Roos and everything. So anyone that would have given him a shot is long fucking gone. There's no one waiting for these episodes. There's no one to thank. Like, he already blew it. It's over. It's been over just like John's been over, but likes to continue to pretend that there's something going on when there isn't.
So right now he's going to talk about some childhood friend. I forgot the guy's name. I clipped it out, but
imaginary.
He's not talking about John. He's talking about a real childhood friend.
I can honestly say that with him, he was someone that came into my life when I was going through a very rough patch.
Hey, Mike, I've got a good line that I just came up with there off the top of my head. His whole life was a rough patch. I guess you could say his whole life was like athlete's foot. You like that one, Joe?
Oh, buddy. Tremendous.
Moved from Baltimore, Maryland to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. My brother, he enlisted in the United States Navy back in 2002. I moved to Pittsburgh in 2003. And the God honest truth was I was going through a severe depression because of my brother leaving. And I was...
right. This guy, Joe Fritzl's daughter, had a better life than Chris Martin. You know who Joe Fritzl is?
I think, what was it, Anne Frank's dad?
Yeah, no, but this guy, so it's like, I was bullied at school, I broke my neck, I had cancer, I broke my back, my spine, my home, all this stuff. I'm going to have to just go ahead and predict that this person doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's imaginary. It's Petey the Frog.
Dealing and coping with that with one of the ways that I coped with a lot of stuff, especially as I got older. And that was through pain pill addiction. So what I would do is...
Yeah.
First of all, Americans are for saying pain pill. You people need to get fucking nuclear bombed. But we all know that he got over his depression by wanking the porn.
Yes. Wait a minute. What do you call it if it's not pain pills?
Pills.
Just pills. Well, what if you're taking speed or uppers? That's
more
fast pills.
I would steal my parents' pain medication just to get high and just to zone out or whatever. So like I was in 8th grade when I started to do this, and which I'm not proud of it, ladies and gentlemen, but it's things that happened within my life that led me to being who I am now. So I mean, If you
It's
guys
nothing to
have
boast about.
What?
Like a guy who works at a supermarket with a fucking broken body, like with a terrible camera. By the way, how come I'm the only, well, not the only person? How come nobody on the Reality Check Network or whatever they're called doesn't understand the concept of light and recording?
Yeah.
You
especially-
face the light.
They're video masters now. They should know this stuff.
struggled and you've gone through a trial, a tribulation, or whatever, please don't be embarrassed, because God's got a purpose for you going through it. I promise you. I guarantee it. So please recognize that.
So what's Chris Martin's purpose? To tell people where they can buy flower pots? Over there. Jay, thanks, sport.
75 cents a money order.
No, dude, he doesn't work in the money center. That's a fucking lie. When you apply to work at a money center or a bank, they do a very detailed background check on you. Now, it's very easy to find out that this guy has had several GoFundMe's and supportfuls and other things like that. So you're not an ideal candidate to be around money if that kind of stuff's in your past. His credit score is probably, double digits. No, dude, he's a shopping cart collector.
So they just they stick him in the back, and that way he can fucking finagle a few AEW figures to the house to try to eBay off as well.
Yeah. They call me Trolley Boy.
I will say that I go to Walmart at least once every other day because I'm a toy collector. I'm looking for He-Man toys. I go there all the time. I pass by the money center every time I go to the Walmart. I look. And you don't ever see anybody in the money center wearing a wrestling shirt with a Baltimore Ravens face mask, scraggly looking hair. They're always like very presentable looking people.
Yeah.
Martin, you're not the money center manager. There's no way possible.
No. Yeah. What toy did you say you were looking for?
He-Man.
Because I heard that John Wangland's about to sell toys, but he's renaming it as Their Man.
There, man.
When I was going through those struggles at the time, Kevin, me and him, we both had speech impediments. And Kevin, he dealt with a speech issue, which I'm not going to go into detail because, quite frankly, I don't know if he would be comfortable with me sharing it. But Kevin,
yeah, I actually have an inside scoop on this. The speech issue was that every time Chris Martin started speaking, Kevin hung up the phone.
What's wrong with your voice?
Yeah. I was so boring that this guy wanted to go to war instead of speak to me about the headbangers.
Oh, God damn
it. He dealt with the speech issue, and me, obviously, you guys know that I'm the stuttering stud muffin. So I dealt with a stutter speech impediment.
You know what I honestly think he sees a speech impediment as like a genuine physical disability. It's like, no, the problem is your brain. It's not your fucking your jaw and your lips. You ugly fat bastard.
You can. There's ways to overcome it too. Don't tell me you can't go to speech class, or there's certain words you can say to get yourself out, like John's speech impediment.
When I first came to Pittsburgh, also I played baseball. When I was in
this part is awesome.
Come on, man.
Baltimore, I actually was on.
There's going to be a new nickname for Brother Martin after this little part here.
So Martin was a 5'2" star right fielder, right? Unbelievable.
The all-city travel team, I actually was a pretty decent player. But little did the people that I was being cocky to, little did they realize I was 2 years removed from playing. And due to having neck and spine issues, little did I realize back then I had spinal stenosis and degenerative disc disease.
Which wrestler do you think had that injury first?
Edge, Steve Austin, Benoit, Angle.
Right, so that's where he's getting all his medical terminology from.
Yes.
And yes, didn't they used to do a thing on the WWE like a "Don't try this at home"?
Mm-hmm.
And the wrestlers would specifically say, I had this going into my spinal column and all this shit.
Yep.
That's what he's doing. Oh my God. Another discovery from Philip Seymour, Fat Man. I wish I could see less and see more.
Yeah, why would it be so close to the thing? I mean, it's very, very, very close. I mean, I can see up his fucking nose, and that's way too much.
There's ways to use lighting and angles to make yourself look better. It's like none of these guys knows any about that. Like John now, his thing is to do the upshot. You know, the camera's like lower than him, and this is what John's looking like. You know, he's got this ghastly lighting coming from underneath him.
You know what I think would make John look better and feel more comfortable?
A cock,
eyeshadow, and lipstick.
Not half, but a shell of the player that I once was. Within like a 2-year period, like my spine, my neck, and my shoulder issues, they got that bad. And that dampened any hopes that I had when it came to playing sports.
He's talking about himself like he's meant to be Babe Ruth, but he's just fucking Babe Pig in the City.
Dude, every 7-8-year-old can hit the bait. Well, most of us can. And I mean, like, no, you know how many people play in the major leagues or whatever he's talking about, or get scholarships for college? Like, bro, you played when you were 10. It means nothing.
We all did.
We all did. It's like a joke. We'll talk about sports and I'll tell my friends. I'll be like, you know, I hit 714 in my career. They're like, what career? You played, you quit when you were 12. Yeah, well, I had to go out on top, you know? This fucking guy.
With high school because I played for like the freshman team at Center High School, and basically due to like my poor grades and due to me not taking care of myself or caring because of my depression, because of the pain pills, because of all that, I didn't play to my full potential. And that was my fault.
What,
so people would pick on me mercifully, whatever, like you want to non-stop. They would pick on me, and they would make fun of my speech impediment, because that's a target right there, right off the bat. Like a lot of people love to make fun of it, is my stutter. And I had people make fun of me because of my abilities when it came to baseball. They would call me Barry Bonds, basically a term to just make fun of me.
That's your new nickname, Brother Martin, Barry Bonds.
But what does that mean? Explain that to me.
Barry Bonds was a great baseball player, so they're mocking him by calling him Barry Bonds. You know,
I don't understand the insult though.
They're being sarcastic.
If you called a shitty guy who acts in the theater and he's terrible, if you're like, all right there, Jack Nicholson, or whatever, you know.
Ashton Kutcher. But so even though he was good at baseball, he's now offended that people are calling him a good baseball player. So basically what he's saying is that they complimented him, and because he's fucking stupid, he took it the wrong way, and that's a sign of bullying. I need pills. Get out of the room so I can wank.
Yeah, is there any more pill talk? Oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah, there is.
Because they believed that I was the polar opposite. And, you know, once again, at the time, I didn't realize that I had my physical ailments that I currently, still do struggle with. But I'm better than what I was because of certain things that have happened within the past year that I'm grateful for. That have helped my health tremendously.
So does that mean he's going to make a comeback to baseball? Is he making the announcement? It's a big fucking announcement. Oh my God,
Mr. 3000.
And I'd like to step back about 30 seconds. He used the term. They thought I was the polar opposite, more like the bipolar opposite. Am I right? Hello. Hello.
Anyways, back to the whole thing with Kevin. Now,
I think Kevin shoved the baseball bat right up his arsehole, and he loved it, and he's been confused ever since. Why can't I quit you?
Yeah, these guys definitely went camping together. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Experience, and this is the God honest truth, guys. I went through the same exact thing. when it came to anger. Because I struggle with bipolar manic depression, I struggle with anger issues, I struggle with manic episodes, which greatly put a strain on my marriage. And and it got to the point, especially after my dad died,
that marriage is never going to end.
No.
Because it's this or bust. It's like when fucking Danny DeVito married Carla from Cheers. It's just like, trust me, it's this or it's fucking permanent isolation. You have no options. So he can... oh, fuck. The photograph, didn't he wear like a short sleeve shirt to his own wedding? He probably got married on his lunch break at Walmart.
Yeah, I don't see a big fancy wedding happening there. Big old fancy wedding.
That's crank cake.
Where I tried to kill myself, and my wife got fed up and she wanted to leave me. I mean, she was still there for me when it came to taking care of me. And
can't imagine why she would want to leave someone who's gonna leave her by dying. Yeah. Why would she want to leave?
And by the way,
you dick face.
Yeah, and by the way, if you're going to boast about being a parent and all that shit and use that as an insult at other people, whatever reason, don't then also talk about, and I wanted to kill myself because I'd care about myself more than other people.
I wasn't baseball.
Yeah, I'm considering entering rock and roll.
And dealing with like the mental issues and things like that, she's still there from that perspective, but from...
Can you pause that?
But from...
can you rewind that?
We're never going to get through this if you pause it every...
Yeah.
Because it sounded like a ninja came into the room and swung a sword, goes, whoosh, 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 or a lightsaber or something.
She's still there. From a wife perspective, she checked out. She's like, you know what? I can't take this shit no more. You're not trying. You're not doing nothing to better yourself. You can't, you can't just change like that. And you expect me to stick around. So right after I got out of the nut house the first time, I really started to put things into perspective. I started to really think to myself, okay, God, what do you want me to do? And God put one thing on my mind. He asked me, when it came to my marriage, God said to me, can you live without her? Can you wake up and function knowing the fact that she's not going to be laying next to you? Can you deal with the fact, or even, let the thought of her being with somebody else cross your mind without being jealous or angry? Can you?
Yeah, he could. I'll tell you what would happen if he woke up and she wasn't next to him. He'd have a lot more room on the old futon. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh. Yeah, she'd need to wake up and help her get her head out of this here turlet.
On her wig.
So how did he better himself getting a job at Walmart? He's still on a daily basis complaining about depression and mental health, so I don't see any fucking changes. He said he was back at the mental house a couple of weeks ago. So what has been better? Didn't they also lose their home about a year ago? Yep. Seems like nothing's got better, so why is he still around? And at least he's moved his hair.
Function thinking about someone else potentially being called daddy. Could you function and deal with the fact with somebody else being called husband to your wife?
Right, listen, that's not something he has to worry about. I don't think Freddie Mercury would fuck her if the cure for AIDS was in her cunt. It's not happening. Like, nobody's going to go after her. So the fact that God would say, "Here, Chris, mate, come here. What time's your lunch break? All right, need to talk." He thinks he's in fucking Goodfellas. Hey, you gotta go home.
You gotta go home. You gotta go home.
You don't have to stay here, but you gotta go home. And
two of them commiserating.
Yeah,
can't do it. I can't.
God honest truth, guys, is I can't comprehend it. I can't function with it. I can't do none of that shit. I can't. And for me, when it comes to things like divorce, I am completely against it. But I do understand in certain circumstances that that's necessary. Okay? Now, if you're with a partner that is like a serial cheater, someone that's extremely abusive, or you have ideology differences or faith-based differences, then I understand. Because this is the God's truth, and some people might not like me saying this, but I'm a firm believer that if you are not a Christian and you are married, and you take a pledge to be committed to your partner within a God-made institution, you are already at a disadvantage to fail. Because this is the God honest truth. God made marriage. God made us. God made everything. And
God also made Adam and Eve, who were brother and sister, who immediately started fucking each other. So what are you talking about? Cletus.
The fact that people go into marriage thinking that, hey, oh, God thing, that ain't for me, but I love this person. Well, this is the thing. The love that you have can only go so far. Because the God honest truth is that the love you have is only part of what is required when it comes to your marriage. Because guess what? You got to call on God to give your partner that other half that you're lacking. You're purposely lacking for a reason, because you're meant to call on Him to complete you. You're meant to call on Him to complete your marriage. You're meant to call on Him to be that foundation for your marriage, okay? You're on this side, your partner's on that side, and God's that bridge that brings you two together.
No offense, but if only God can help you keep your marriage together to get it going, then it's a shitty marriage, dude. You shouldn't have to pray for this thing to work. It should just work. Or you're not supposed to be there.
So please recognize that. The Spaghetti Monster doesn't bring you together. L. Ron Hubbard doesn't bring you together. Muhammad doesn't bring you together. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're getting canceled, buddy.
Oh,
I'm telling all my Muslim friends about what you just said. You're going to be canceled.
You say
Clip that and get that out there and tag what's the name? Says your toilet cleaner hates Muslims.
Say that shit in Paris, you're gonna get your head cut off with a butter knife.
Dude, this is just another reason why I can't stand religious people, especially Christians, man, because they're always so fucking pompous, and they think that their imaginary friend is more powerful than your imaginary friend, dude. Fuck. I wish we had Ben Hamid on this episode, because
the hypocrisy coming from him is mental. And the thing is, but Mike's completely right, and I'm kind of doing a wingling by repeating what he just said. But they think they're so superior, while he's just fucking spoken about all these flaws that he has. So now we have to be like him, who's flawed. It's on this. I have genuine hatred for him. This is a fucking Christian who lies to steal money from people and faked having cancer for some mild Twitter attention.
Yeah.
This is the guy who's inspiring us. He's inspiring me to allegedly punch him really hard right at the corner of the jaw if I ever fucking seen him.
Sorry, but marriage is a God-made institution. Okay? Christian-made institution.
Fuck off.
That can only be blessed by the God of the Bible. And if you don't follow within those footsteps, and once again, it's not my job to tell you what to believe in, because honestly, I respect you either way.
Bullshit. No, you don't respect anybody. You just said.
Yeah, this is the peak of his life. Like this is his glory days. What's next for him?
And if you don't know, now you know.
Yeah, he's stuck in a supermarket. He's going to be obsolete soon. He's he's so obnoxious, and I could understand it if he had a reason, but there isn't one thing about him that I would want, not physically, mentally, financially, wifely. None of that stuff is to be boasted about. Why is he so confident? What's he got going for him? He's a fucking nerd with a shit job who talks about wrestling on a podcast that no one's listening to. It's only there to be made fun of.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on? I need to know what's in the water up in them there hills there, boy.
But I know for a fact from my experience that if you do not follow the God of the Bible and you let him be the foundation for your marriage, you are at a disadvantage to crumble.
What? How do you know that?
Yeah.
Are you a marriage counselor? Do you do surveys? Come on, man.
Hey, well, just go ahead, but I'm going to look something up.
I can't stand. I want to choke him.
Be honest, right? See if a fight broke out, and not that I'm wishing violence on anyone or any of that shit. Do you think that if just say you were fighting him and you had the advantage, that you would be able to stop, or do you think it could go too far? Because he's so irritating.
Yeah. Just look at him. So fucking arrogant and pompous. Look at him, self-righteous. For what? Look at you, dude.
I don't know.
I know you're watching this right now, Brother Martin. I want you to look at the screen and look at yourself, man. That's the guy that's pretending he's better than everybody, that he knows more about everything. Get the fuck out of here.
I've got a question for the cheap hate and collect, whatever the fuck they're called, group. I need to know what it is about him that you like, and that how you can watch. Oh, by the way, whenever this episode's released, about 3 or 4 weeks ago at the time of recording this, I asked for one person who listens to one of their shows to message me, and it still hasn't happened. So again, I'm requesting, can I have one listener of any one of the shows from John Wangland's group to please just tweet me and say, I listen. That's all I need.
There is one fan. They do have a new fan, and he's a real person. His name is Michael Loving, and he's on Facebook. You can look him up. He is a real person. He does interact on their videos. So they do now have one fan. Yeah.
Onward and upward. Didn't we steal away their only girl fan?
Yeah. Well, Alexa J. Lawson.
What a t-shirt.
She bought a Husey t-shirt.
What a lovely woman.
Your marriage is over before you even know it. And I know for a fact, if it wasn't for God being the foundation within my marriage, my wife would have left me a long time ago. And I would have left her a long time ago. Because our heart wouldn't have been in it. Because there were times where our hearts were out of it, but God stepped in there to replace it, saying, you know what, you're not going to give up. You're not going to tap out. You're not going to throw in the towel. And God was the one that really, he really set the tone for that. So, guys, I know some of you aren't going to agree with me, but I'm a firm believer, once again. God's the foundation for marriages. God's the foundation for relationships. And he's the one.
I just looked up some stats, and just so Martin knows, 51% of all Protestant Christian marriages end in divorce. So why didn't God save those marriages, doofus? You know who has the lowest divorce rate? Jehovah's Witnesses. Boom, fuck you. Get My Go episode 40 or whatever. It should be quote like Muhammad can't save your marriage or whatever the fuck he said. What an asshole.
Hi, Glenn. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, sweetie. I pray all is well with you.
Sweetie.
And that you're having a fantastic day.
You should take that clip and send it to Disco.
Hi, Glenn.
Hey, sweetie.
I really want to say that it was those times that really made me more grateful for my wife, because we went from moving so frequently to nearly starving, to we went through 4 miscarriages, to to struggling with addictions, to with me it was pain pills and pornography And like my wife, it was pain pills. I mean, just so many things. Me having to financially take care of her brother. I mean, just so many factors to where we could have easily crumbled, but God, you know, gave us the skills. He gave us the tools to cope and deal with it. And
no, God didn't give you the skills to cope with it. People give you the money to cope with it because you lied about having cancers and injuries and stuff, so people would donate money to you because you've got a shitty last option job. None of this shit is making any fucking sense. I hate this fucking. This is so boring, even to make fun of him.
Yeah,
can you put like a fireworks playing or something over this there, man?
We have a third screen with like Full Metal Jacket playing in the corner, or like A Few Good Men. No, like we've watched 15 minutes of the stuff that's clipped so far, and all he's done is talk in circles, talk down to people. And I really haven't gotten. I don't understand what the point of this is yet. Do we get to a point? Like, what's the point?
This show was an hour and a half long. I've clipped it to an hour. So you can imagine how much more of it was just him repeating the same shit over again. See, this is where editing comes into play, Cheap Heat and Cheap Pops. You edit down your shit to make it more concise and not to waste people's time. You guys repeat the same shit over and over again. It doesn't need to be repeated.
Big factor was the love that we had for each other. And those times where we didn't have more love to give, God stepped in and gave us that extra boost to cope, to manage, and to deal with the situation at hand. And I just want to let everybody know that if you're grateful for those smaller blessings, God will bless you with bigger things, okay? And like you're thinking to yourself, so wait a second, Chris, you're going to give me this televangelist pitch where like if you donate $1 million or wait a second, like you donate $50, you'll get like $1 million. No. I'm not talking about the Joel Osteen bullshit, the Peter Popoff bullshit. I'm not talking about that because, quite frankly, they're frauds. But
yes, you heard. Yeah, Joe, your eyes just got as big as saucers right there. Yeah,
they're frauds. But
they're the frauds.
He just called Joel Osteen a fraud.
They're the frauds. Okay.
Chris Martin called somebody else a fraud. Here's what somebody, I'm not going to say who it is now, but somebody told me when this came out, they said, you know what, how much do you want to bet that Martin hit up Joel Osteen's church for money and got denied, right?
Yeah, sure. Right.
That's where his anger at Joel comes from.
Probably.
Because like the God honest truth is that if you are a multi-millionaire pastor and your community within your area is still poor, for example, like Joel Osteen, Houston, Texas, one of the hurricanes, one of like the last few hurricanes that hit, which I can't think of like the one off the top of my head, but there was a hurricane that hit Houston, Texas a few years ago. It was really, really bad.
Let me guess. And Joel Osteen Houston hurricane.
Opportunity to open up his church to people that were flooded out of their homes, that had no food, nothing, and he refused to. I guess he figured that poor people would damage his image. I guess he figured that poor people wouldn't be fitting to what his version of ministry for people is. And like the honest truth, I have no respect for that. I have no respect for him. I pray for him. I pray that he's able to talk about the real true God, the one that talks about heaven and hell, not just the feel good motivational talks that just make you feel giddy. No, because God don't work that way. So sorry guys, I was
go ahead.
So this is a motivational thing. This is supposed to motivate us. Because and why the fuck would Joel Osteen want this white trash in his house to be like, hey, Joel, my wife wants to know where we can deep fry our ferret.
He's talking about the hurricane that was in Houston a few years ago.
I remember it. Yeah.
But the funny thing is that Martin, if you look it up, it's still out there probably. Martin had a Facebook fundraising thing because of a South Carolina hurricane. He said they lost their house in the hurricane. No, he didn't though. But he made up a fraudulent fundraising thing about it. So
yeah, Hambone will probably find that, considering all of the research he does on these people to send us the screenshots of all the private stuff that Hambone sends us.
Hambone.
You have a small-time scam artist ripping on a big-time scam artist here. So Martin's just jealous that Joel Osteen's successful in it.
Yeah, it's all over for Joel now that Martin came out. And it's all over.
This is the God honest truth.
Again, I've said it before. Whenever he says that this is the God honest truth, it's going to be followed by a lie.
So regardless of circumstance, as long as you're faithful, God will always meet your needs. Okay? That's the God honest truth. God will always meet your needs. And I know for me and for my wife and for many other people that I know that God's not a genie. But if you need something bad enough to take care of your family, God will give you the opportunity. Opportunity, that's the key word, ladies and gentlemen. The opportunity to get what you need to take care of your family.
Hey, Durban, can you just randomly jump ahead 35 minutes and I will bet you that he's still talking about the same shit, because there's no point in doing this whole thing.
I find it unbelievable. So anyone that's out there and that's homeless or starving just ain't right with God, right? And he's saying God will provide for all your needs. Well, how low are Martin's expectations if that's all God's providing him, you know?
All right, I'll try and skip forward. He eventually gets to us, I think, at the end.
Woohoo! And I have gone to pray that you find refund. First and foremost, Vince, thank you so much.
This is where he talks about Russo, so we have to do this part.